Okay, back to finish this. I'm finishing the rest of the episodes. I'm gonna lose my voice by the end of this once again. Okay. The influencers test. According to Tsuruko, Odaiba Plaza was Minato City's iconic business district. The plaza was surrounded on all sides by towering modern high-rises, yet beyond the buildings was a massive bridge illuminated by the colors of the rainbow. And in the middle of the plaza stood a massive robotic object. What you think is up with that with the robot? Ski glanced over at the robot with a puzzled look on her face. You haven't heard it. Wait, you haven't heard of it before, Ski? It's Hero Knight Brave Drive. Oh, wait, I would say driver. Sorry, it's Hero Knight Brave Diver. Why is this diver? I thought it was being driver. It makes more sense as driver, right? Koichi's eyes glowed as he answered her question. Huh. I remember watching a few episodes many years ago. It's a pretty old anime, isn't it? Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of different series, games, and so much merch. I consumed just about everything there is about it. I especially enjoy their most famous I see you've all made it. Oh, poor Koichi got cut off. The influencer's voice cut off Koichi's explanation without hesitation. The bright beam of light shot out from Kazuki's phone again, projecting the round emoji on one of the walls of a building. I see you're not going to meet us in person after all. Given the risk involved, it's quite a reasonable decision. Now, let us move on to the main point. You're all trying to usurp Sui Yakumo, correct? Usurp is going a little far. We just want to put a stop to the numbers, Ski answered in a gloomy tone. We won't ask for specifics. What is more important is that we would also like Sui Yakumo to be removed from the king's throne. And if Kyo Kuronaka were to take his place, we would gladly offer you our cooperation. Couldn't you easily achieve that by manipulating the system? We don't have the authority to manipulate the king's dominance power. Despite how extensive their power was, even they couldn't lay a finger on the king. The game made sure that the king's position was absolute. Aren't your positions as nobles guaranteed so long as you serve under Sui's reign? Why would you want to change that? Sui Yakumo has gained too much power. At this rate, we fear his reign over Minato City will go on for an eternity. Yeah, but what we're asking is, wouldn't that be in your best interest? Things become far too stale and boring under a long-term king. What makes the game interesting is when things change. Change? The rules for the Minato Reign Kingdom are very vague and fluid. The interpretation of dominance changes based on the values of the king in power, which in and of itself changes the characteristics of the game. Our mission is to quickly detect any changes made to the rules by the current king, and to then swiftly influence all of Minato City using them. The issue lies in that Sui Yakumo's reign is removing the very meaning of our existence. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around all of this. But essentially, you will all want to enjoy the governing rules as if you were the ones in charge? You are free to interpret our words whichever way you want. The only thing that matters to us is maintaining the fluidity of the game. I don't really get it, but this means you'll make Yo a noble so that he can challenge Sui, right? To be frank, yes. However, doing so is incredibly risky for us. We would like you to prove yourselves worthy of our cooperation. The influencer suddenly said something disquieting. Yo and the others instinctively raised their guards. And how do you intend for us to go and prove that? We would like to ascertain if you are capable of even challenging Sui Yakumo. To that end, we have prepared you a suitable opponent. If you are able to take them down, we vow to cooperate. Oh boy, gotta fight. Not sure I really like needing to be appraised like this, but I suppose we'll go ahead and use this to our advantage as well. This is one way to go about business. I guess there's no harm in being a realist. We'll do it. Who do we need to take down? As Yo and the others made their preparations to battle, they looked around, searching for the opponent the influencer had prepared for them. Why are you all looking around? Your opponent is right before you. Yo suddenly looked straight ahead. Just as he thought that, there wasn't anyone there. The eyes of a giant robot before them began to glow. Oh boy! What? Brave Diver? As the sounds of a giant motor filled the plaza, Brave Diver began to stir. It drew its big sword from the scabbard it had on its left arm. It gripped the sword with both hands and then dashed toward the group. We will continue our negotiations once you've dispatched Brave Diver. Sheesh, let's talk about a big ass. Just as Katsuki let out a deep sigh, Brave Diver attacked Yo and the others. Its movements were much more quick and agile than you expect for something of its size. It moved around as if it was ice skating, and swung its sword using that momentum. Huh? How the heck can that big old sack of bolts move that fast? Everyone, spread out! Given how fast it was moving, it was able to attack in wide sweeps. Having no other choice, Yo and the others spread out from each other and move around the plaza. However, they did not stay on the defense for long, as Katsuki began figuring out a counterattack. Taking a look at the robot's construction, it doesn't seem as though it would be able to swing its sword around its legs. It may be safer to stand just below it. Making himself the example, Katsuki quickly slipped under the legs of the robot while it was charging straight at him. Then he transformed his X-Speed bat into twin blades and delivered an intense attack to one of the giant bot's tree trunk-like legs. The robot lost its balance and stopped moving. This is our chance. Everyone, focus on its heels. If we destroy its thrusters, it won't be able to move at the same speed it was before. Analyzing the robot's composition as the battle continued, Yutaka called out the areas they should be focusing their attacks on. The rest of the team psyched themselves up and simultaneously attacked the robot's legs. Everyone delivered their strongest attack to the targeted area. And there we go. Now it's gonna be much slower. If they could do something about its nibble fast mobility, they could easily take it down. Everyone took turns going in and attacking, slowly breaking Brave Diver apart piece by piece. They attacked its feet when they found openings in its movement. When Brave Diver swung its sword, everyone would immediately spread out to avoid being hit. Attacking, retreating. As they repeated that attack pattern in Nazam? Brave Diver's legs began suffering more and more damage, before it finally dropped to its knees and stopped moving completely. All that was left was to deal with the final blow. Yo sprinted full force toward Brave Diver to bring the battle to a close. Hold on, Yo, something's not right. Katsuki immediately sensed that something was off. Having been cornered, Brave Diver began moving differently. It aimed at the hand it wasn't holding its sword toward Yo, and launched a rocket from its hand. What? Yo's efforts to close the distance were in vain. He tried desperately to move sideways, but completely dodging the rocket was... Yo, watch out! A mysterious shadow came flying out from Koishi's bag and tightly gripped Yo's arm, pulling him towards Koishi. Thanks to that, he was able to dodge the rocket at the last second. Thanks, Koishi. End it, Yo! With Ski cheering him on, Yo dashed toward the robot once more. Take this! As Yo brought his bat crashing down onto the brave diver's face, the robot fell over onto its side, the light in its eyes extinguished. Everyone was out of breath, but relief looks appeared on all their faces. We did it! You think we end up having to fight a robot in a diva? What a remarkable turn of events. I'm glad we took it down, but I can't help but feel off. To think I have to play a part in destroying Brave Diver. Despite coming out on top in the battle, their spirits were exhausted and they were wounded. However, as a result, a large increase in dominance had been detected. Congratulations, you have achieved the rank of noble. The number above Yo's head began to dramatically increase. Along with the change, the system voice announced the rank up. It seemed like the influencer had kept their promise. We were truly impressed by your power. Congratulations are in order, Yo Kuronaka. Thanks to you, we managed to get one of us to noble, just like you promised. You have received the right to challenge Sui Yakumo. From this point on, the rest is up to you. We can no longer get involved. Oh, so you're just spectators now? How lucky of you. Tsurugo replied with a surprisingly sarcastic remark. She must have had undisclosed reservations about the influencers this entire time, who got to watch from their safe haven while Yo and the others were putting their lives on the line. We will leave you with one final warning. You must not mention us to anyone. Of course, that includes Sweet Yakumo. Oh yeah? And what happens if we do? Let's just say we would not stop at just stripping you of your noble rank. The emoji face disappeared along with the influencer's voice. Only the very worst kind of business partner leaves their allies with a threat. Come on, cheer up, we're finally ready. Koishi's right. Despite what it took to get here, I've become a noble. I'm able to challenge Sui. And as those thoughts crossed his mind, everyone's phone suddenly beeped. Yo, what's the sitch? The group chat received a message from Santaro. We're doing good. We finally made it to noble rank. We have decided what we're doing next. So we're on our way back to you. Excellent, excellent. Oh, right. You should know that I'm out right now. Of course, you're being lazy at a time like this. Shut up. But your timing's perfect. Come on, come join me. Where are you at? Around the Azabu crossing. There's something I want to show you. Especially Kazuki and Yutaka. Oh, you have something to show me? Get pumped and get over here already. Being summoned by Santaro's a vague message, Yo and the others decide to head over to the Azabu crossing. Oh, then go next. You should next. His grave. There you guys are. Sorry for making you come all the way here. Santaro and the 4 children were waiting for everyone by a fenced area in Azabu Crossing. There was a vending machine and a large ashtray. It looked like a run of the Mill City Corner rest stop. So, what is it you wanted to show us? This. Sitting in one section of the rest stop was a space with a metal 2-door closet installed. The closet had been decorated with a large trophy on top. In front of it was a litany of things like flowers and coffee cans. Prominently featured was a photograph of a white-haired, handsome young man. Upon seeing that, Yo was struck with an unfamiliar sense of discomfort. Is this supposed to be a grave? In a place like this? Yes, it belongs to a dear friend of ours. We decided now would be the best time to come visit. It had been a while after all. The closet was serving as a stand-in for a gravestone. The number of flowers that had been placed by it spoke to how much he was adored while he was alive. Could this be? Yeah, it's that guy's grave. Ah, right. I don't think Kazuki ever had the chance to meet him in person. Santaro and the four children stared solemnly at the photo. Yo took another look over their shoulder, eyes fixated on the him in the photo. That's when it happened. He felt a sharp pain in his head. It seems like the same thing was happening to Kazuki, Tsuruko, and Koichi. Scowls appeared on their faces as they gripped their heads. Y'all okay? Something the matter? Need to head back and lie down? We're fine. It'll pass if we rest for a minute. Oh, that's a little odd. Little odd there. Okay. Okay, anyways. That reminds me. I'm sorry for not properly addressing him. I should at least make a prayer for him. Yo felt the pain recede slightly and put his hands together before the grave. For some reason, he couldn't shake the feeling like this wasn't the first time he had seen him. Oh yeah, I wonder. But he couldn't remember who he even was. Ski wore a vacant, puzzled expression on her face. Perhaps they were just imagining those feelings? Oh no, they're not imagining it. Because otherwise, why is that detail put in there? But just as they were about to as they were trying to retrace their memories, crunch. Noise echoed. Huh? I think I just heard something. Crunch, crunch. The sound was coming from a pile of trash that had accumulated next to the vending machine. Something was swarming underneath all of the trash. Is it a ghost? Ski was pale, and at the moment she said that, crunch. With a strikingly loud sound, the trash heap began collapsing. And what appeared from underneath all that trash was a round robot. Its spherical body was actually its face, and a pair of arms and legs grew directly out of it. As if it was modeled after a baseball umpire, it wore a catcher's mask on its face. Is that a robot umpire? What is it doing in a place like this? Oh, they officiated XP games. They used to be all over the city, but after the governing rules came to play, they all but vanished. Just like its appearance hinted, this robot used to referee matches. But why was it in a place like this? Responding to Tsuruko's voice, the robot umpire's mouth began to open and close. It seemed like it was trying to say something. Doesn't seem as though it's beyond repair. Let me take a look. I might be able to fix it up. Oh, look at how huge it is. Yutaka pulled out a set of tools from out of nowhere and began repairing the robot. He loosened the screws and popped off the cover panel. Then, with a soldering iron, he began soldering together the wires that had been severed. He replaced the dead motor, changed out some of the gears, applied oil in various places. The repairs continued smoothly without any issue. You fixed me. Thank you. Awesome! It's all fixed up. Thanks to Yutaka's excellent repair, the robot umpire was now able to speak. Why were you even in a place like this? I mean, I'm shocked you hadn't been found till now. Santaro quickly inquired about its situation. I was found once, but someone brought me here to hide me. The person paid their respects at the grave, but after that, they never came back. Aw, they sound like a really kind person. I wonder if they liked XP. Ski spoke as if impressed. If it was true, for a person to go through all the trouble of carrying around such a large robot and then hiding it, it had to take someone with a lot of love for XP. But if it was here this whole time, someone may have found it and broke it at some point. How about we bring it back to the secret base when things calm down? After all, it's an important living witness of XP. True. Until then, do your best to stay hidden, little buddy. It would be dangerous if you were found by the 24th tribe. Understood. Yo and the others returned the robot umpire to where they found it, carefully covering it in trash so that it wasn't visible. Right, Dio. How about we head back? Thanks for coming out this way. After they finished covering up the robot, they turned around and head back to their secret base when... If you see the man with red hair, please thank him for me. Huh? Hearing those words, Yo stopped dead in his tracks. Red hair? The face that shot to the forefront of his mind when he heard those words was... Earth to Yo, come on, let's get going. Yeah, sorry. Yo returned to his senses when Skeet called out to him. We're so close to returning Sui back to normal. When he's finally back to his old self, I'm going to give him a real earful. Well, it's still tough to say if we're going to win. To that end, we need to have a strategy meeting. Kazuki was right. At this point, their odds of winning were low. It was going to take a brilliant strategy if they wanted any shot at beating Sui, now that he had gained overwhelming power after becoming number 9. Yet no one was worried. They were going to win for sure. As long as they had each other, they would win. That's what Yo kept repeating himself on the way back to the secret base. Power friendship. Let's do it. Oh, I guess. The stolen beanbat. What the? The moment Santaro opened the door and walked into the base, a puzzled look appeared on his face. Something the matter? It's just that it looks a bit more disorganized. Suddenly, in a bit of panic, Santaro quickly looked around his room from the floor to his desk. You really think so? Don't know how to tell you this, but it was pretty messy to begin with. Shut up, I can't tell, okay? I'm going to take a look around. Santaro rushed to the back of the room. It seemed like he was checking that nothing had been stolen. Think a burglar broke in? If that were the case, I would think they would target a cleaner house than this one. In contrast to Koishi's worries, Yutaka let out a sarcastic sigh. Considering how messy the room was, he was convinced that it was nothing more than a misunderstanding on Santaro's part, who seemingly had an incredibly hard time keeping the place tidy. However, gah, shit, it's gone! Who the hell? His sorrow yells echoed through the secret base. Yo and the others were rushed over to where he was. Why are y'all deadpan expressions over here? Look at their eyes. Right, sure, if you say so. He's the only one who's worried over here. It's not like I can't find it anywhere. The beanbat I had sitting here is gone. Wasn't that the Minato Tribe's treasured a bat? It was true. The beanbat that had been sitting near the couch had disappeared. Case and all. No matter how messy the room was, there was no way such a large item would get lost among the clutter. It seems Santaro had imagined that the room would look more disorganized than usual. Chill out, your screaming isn't going to cause the beanbat to rematerialize now, is it? Chill out? How in the world am I going to do that? And how will I be able to face Haru? Santaro fell to his knees and buried his face in his hands. He was blaming himself for the most important bat that his teammates entrusted him with being stolen. Even Yo's chest hurt seeing him like this. Seeing him like that. Was anything else taken? Nah, nothing besides the beanbat is missing. My money and bank book are still here. Which means we can say for certain that the thief came here with the intent to steal the beanbat. How many people knew you had it here? I don't remember telling anyone outside of Minato Tribe teammates and all of you that I even had it. As soon as he said that, the face of that person returned to the forefront of Yo's mind once again. No, there was one other person who knew the beanbat was here. What? Who? Sweet, you mentioned earlier that you showed it to him. Santaro had told Yo the story earlier. That when he invited the collapsed Sui into the secret base, he showed him the beanbag. Sui knew about the secret base and knew that the beanbag was here. That guy? But why would he? Maybe he just simply wanted it. I mean, he did used to look up to the Minato tribe. Shouldn't his personality have changed due to the brainwashing? Yeah, but like, maybe something caused his heart to remember XP for a moment. It was true that there wasn't another explanation at why he would go out his way to steal the only beanbag other than the deep love for XP. Sui's personality had changed completely due to Zero's brainwashing. Brainwashing, emphasis on that, because like, are you sure about that? But a part of him might still be there. The part that loved XP. Wait, that's right! In that moment, a divine revelation descended onto Yo. He realized something. A way of defeating Sui, who currently wielded an overwhelming amount of strength. Guys, listen. If Sui still has those emotions, we might be able to use that to our advantage and beat him. Yo quickly shared the strategy that had just dawned on him. Not gonna lie, that's risky. But if it's true, we might be able to finish things without having to fight using the governing rules. There's also a chance he just flat out rejects the idea. Sure that's a good idea, Yo? Even though my memory hasn't fully come back yet, I am still his childhood friend. I've got a gut feeling that he won't turn me down. The plan Yo came up with was based on the assumption that Sui still had his emotions. If that assumption was wrong, there's no doubt Yo would be heading to his death. But he was prepared for that. Gotcha. If that's how you're feeling, then I won't stop you. But you won't mind if I prepare a backup plan, would you? A backup plan? It's better to prepare for the worst. To be honest, I'm not sure if it'll actually be any good. But on the off chance we find ourselves in a situation we need to use it, just leave things to me. Leave things to you? I've got a bad feeling about this. What you thinking anyways? Santaro scowled as he asked. It's better if I don't say. Should everyone get too caught up in their own head about it and it ends up coming off as just some cheesy play, then it will all be for nothing. So if it comes down to it, when you realize I'm starting something, and no matter what I say, I don't want any of you to be surprised. Got it. Should it come down to that, we'll entrust you with the situation, Kazuki. Everyone else okay with that? Best case scenario, I won't even have to use my plan. No one raised their objections as he looked around at everyone's faces as he asked. There was a part of Kazuki that was a bit sneaky, but he was not someone who would betray his teammates. One way or another, Yo and the others trusted him. Okie dokie, that's all we had to talk about, right? Now let's go find Sui. Ski raised her fist in the air enthusiastically. She couldn't help wanting to rescue Sui as quickly as they could. Reckon he's probably at Minato Tower. That's where his stronghold is. Alright, then let's go. Yo and the others took up their weapons and shot out of the secret base. Just wait for Sui. Just wait for us, Sui. We're on our way. Panting, Ski ran ahead at full speed. He knew exactly what direction to head in. No matter where you were in the city, Minato Tower was always in sight. It towered over all the other buildings. Yo and the others made their way to the tallest radio tower in all of Neo Tokyo. Confrontation. We're almost there. Yo's provocation. 24 trip. Oh yeah, sorry. What do you think you are doing? This is the great number 9's residence. Get out of here. The group made their way to inside Minato Tower, but were quickly prevented from going any further by members of the 24 tribe. We have to see Sui, no matter what. Can you just tell him that Yo Kuronaka is here to see him? Are you crazy? You think I'm gonna let myself get chewed out because I pass a message? That's long a message for some small fry nobody like you? The 24 tribe members geared up for a fight, which in turn meant the trash tribe would not be able to get their message to the intended recipient. With the way things were going, it seemed they had no other options available to them. Yo and the rest of the group readied their weapons, but just as they were about to clash with the 24 tribe members... Jeez, I was told a bunch of weirdos got in. Didn't think it would be just you guys. We appeared without the need to fetch him. Despite being outnumbered, he didn't seem to take any extra precautions. He simply approached them with an even composure. So, what's up? Finally decide to surrender? Yeah, you nailed it. We are surrendering, just like you wanted. We're dropping out of XG. Ha! Get real. I know that's not what you're here for. It's written all over your face. So he saw through Yo's lie with ease. No, I'm not lying. I really did come to surrender, but I have a condition. Having conditions mean it's not actually a surrender, man. But what is it? If you can beat me in a game of XB, then we'll surrender, for real. XB? Slee couldn't help but let out a laugh. His arms are wrapped around his stomach at the mention of XB. My dude, are you nuts? You're really trying to settle the dispute with that outdated wannabe combat sport? Slee clapped his hands together as he continued to laugh. He spoke as if looking down on XB, treating it as if it was the child's game that adults wouldn't take part in. However, you're wasting your breath by talking that way. Yo wasn't about to let himself be deceived by Sui's acting. Huh? Sui's expression dropped, the smile on his face disappearing. You still have your memories of XB, don't you? What are you talking about? You were the one who stole the beanbag that was at Mr. Mita's place, weren't you? You might be acting like a different person right now, but there's still a part of you that looks up to the Minato tribe, right? His expression morphed into a scowl, remaining silent as Yo continued to speak. That's not all either. Weren't you also the one who saved the Robo Empire? Not that I can really prove it, but carrying a heavy robot like that and hiding it so that it wouldn't be found, that's just not something someone would do unless they really loved XB. That's why I really believe you still have the love for XB somewhere within you. I'm right, aren't I? As he spoke, Yo raised his voice as a result of his own convictions. He kept his gaze fixed on Sui, not breaking eye contact as he pressed for answers. He prayed the words he spoke were the truth. However, he let out a villainous sounding laugh as his expression shifted into something almost devilish in nature. Well done, detective. I'd say you're half right. Only half? You're right. It was me who had the bat stolen. It might be outdated, but it's still a symbol of ultimate power. I thought I'd make a good decoration for my room, but my subordinates and I searched for it. That's the only part you got right, though. There's not a single part of me that looks up to the Minato tribe, and I don't still have any feelings about XP either. That's why I did it. So it's about time you stop trying to get me to play XP. If you really want to face me, we'll settle things with our fists. How about I knock you out with a single punch like last time? Stubbornly, Sui denied the chance to settle things with XP. Yo wasn't sure what to do next. The plan he had made relied on Sui agreeing to an XP match. With how things were going, it seemed all their efforts would be for nothing. He wasn't sure how he could even do what he even do next. That's what you say, but you're just afraid of losing, aren't you? He interrupted their conversation, her tone stern. What? Afraid of losing? Well, yeah. I mean, you never beaten Yo XP, right? Shut up. Ski's words seemed to agitate Sui, which prompted him to shift into to a much more unreadable expression. You keep saying you're stronger, but if you were to lose like you did in the past, you weren't able to make any excuses. I said shut up! Sui shouted in response, infuriated by what Ski said. The past doesn't matter anymore. I have become stronger. No one can beat me, not even Yo. If no one can beat you, then you shouldn't have any problems facing us in an XP match. As the cracks began to form in Sui's demeanor, Yo knew he had to use the opportunity to challenge him. Fine, bring it on. Then let's do this. Yo quietly balled his hands into fists. Their heated back and forth had finally resulted in Sui accepting the XP match. His plan had worked. Is that you wanted me to say? Huh? A puzzled look appeared on Ski's face. I'm not gonna accept crappy challenges like that. Don't you realize that I have tons of ways to make you all bow down to me? I've got no reason to play XP against you. It seemed that no matter how Yo tried to convince him, or how Ski tried to evoke him, Sui wasn't going to accept their proposition. Yo found himself completely out of options. My. I see that you're really not aware of your own incompetence. Kazuki spoke up as he stepped forward, saving Yo from his predicament. What was that? Kazuki? Oh, there we go. Sui, you really need to work on the attitude of yours. You're really going to piss everyone off in the world if you don't tone down those violent tendencies. You realize that, right? Truth is, most people in the city already hate you. Children, adults, the elderly, even the influencers seems to really hate your guts. That's why we have their support in dethroning you. Kazuki, I don't think you're supposed to. We shall leave this to him. He was quick to cup his hand over Koishi's mouth. The influencers are on your side, so what? I can just kill those old goats whenever I feel like it, you know? I can take them down in an instant, even without the whole annoying dominance process. Wow, you really don't get it. Talk about being out of touch up there on your throne. You really can't figure out who will be killed before you can kill the influencers? Kazuki responded with what sounded like a riddle, and then a moment later, Kazuki Ayoma, I do believe you are told to keep this confidential, correct? The conversation was interrupted by a giant emoji that appeared on the floor of Minato Tower's entrance. It appeared that the influencers had hacked into both the lighting and the speaker systems. Well, things didn't go exactly as planned. Can't you cut me a little slack here? I see. In that case, allow me to do what I must as well. A large decrease in dominance had been detected. Your rank has been downgraded to commoner. The points above Yo's head dropped sharply as the system voice echoed around them. It was, without a doubt, the influencer's doing. Kazuki, if this keeps up, Yo's really going to have to flee the city. Huh? Sui's expression was that of extreme agitation. Are you finally starting to get who's actually going to get killed first in the situation yet? You might be able to change the influencer's minds if you accept the XP match. A decrease in dominance has been detected. Your rank has been downgraded to beggar. Please increase dominance at once if you wish to avoid further consequences. Yo's rank had fallen all the way to beggar. If they didn't act quickly, his chest would be pierced through with a laser, just as Sui's had that day. If we don't do something, Yo's gonna... I accept. What? Yo could hardly believe his ears. I said I accept your XB match. Yo had misheard. This time, Sui really had accepted his challenge. A large increase in dominance power had been detected. Your rank has been upgraded to noble. Congratulations. The number above Yo's had shot up quickly in tandem with Sui's acceptance to the XP match. Hey, what the heck just happened? Sui saved Yo's life? I wonder. We don't know what his true intentions may be, but at the very least, it seems like Sui doesn't want Yo to die. He's given more than a few warnings to give up on XG, but still let him escape easily enough too. Kazuki's assessment was on point. If Sui had really intended to kill Yo, he already had ample opportunity to do so. He could have eliminated them on the first encounter. He could have also attacked him at Santaro's secret base. but he hadn't done any of those things. It was difficult to gauge what his true intentions were. It appears you used us as you saw fit. A two-way street, as far as I'm concerned. Hehe. An excellent display of ability indeed. I wish you the best in your endeavors. Leaving behind those words, the influencer proceeded to vanish. That was quite a risky bet. Had you miscalculated the situation, Mr. Kuronaka would have. Haha, can't deny that it had me on edge too. Katsuki's forehead was damp beside the beads of sweat that had formed. Sweet, save me. Don't let it go to your head. Things would have gotten boring real fast if you croaked. So I let you live, got it? I'm gonna be the one who takes you down, and I'm not letting anyone else get in the way of that. It was still impossible to tell what Sui was after. Yo couldn't make heads or tails of what he was thinking, or just what his current circumstances truly may have been. But that was something they could figure out after bringing the current situation to an end. There was only one thing Yo needed to do right now, and that was just to work with his teammates to defeat Sui in an XP match. That was where his focus needed to be. Regardless, we know what we have to do. We should get to it. The moment Katsuki motioned to get started... Oh, clap, 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 clap. Clapping. Their ears filled with the sound of someone's clapping. They turned around to the source of the sound, only to find, haha, truly incredible, amazing work, everyone. Passionate friendships suddenly morphing into extreme loathing. This is exactly what I was looking for. This turn of an events is so incredible that I need to see it in person for myself. It was Zero, standing before them. This time, he wasn't a plushie mascot form. He chose instead to appear before them in human form. His face was hidden behind his mask, save for his right eye, which was watched on with intense excitement. Zero. Yes, reviving Sui was definitely worth it. The two of them being all buddy-buddy would have been boring. Revived? Why is he here? Yo and all the others, Sui included, were baffled. Why exactly has Zero come? To watch their XP match? Was that really the only reason? Excuse me. Tsurugo was the first to speak up. Huh? What do you want? We were planning on settling our matters with XP rather than the governing rules. I was wondering if you were here to stop us. Look, I can't say I like excessive hindrances, but I'm sure these two going at it with the game of XP will be pretty exciting, so I'll allow it. Still, I'll keep a close eye on matters, as it's all part of XG after all. I can't stand when shady nobles manipulate what dominance power they have to their advantage. Zero's gaze shifted towards the surveillance camera that was mounted above their heads, as he smiled behind his mask. It seemed that his intent was to keep the influencers who were watching from the other side of those cameras in check. I'm enjoying myself, so don't you dare get in the way, was the unspoken sentiment he seemed to convey with his actions. Hey, how much longer do you plan on yapping? Now, there's no need to rush. That's right. Who's the king again? The rankings appeared as Zero asked that question. Oh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. That's the chef's kiss art right there. What the heck is that? Santaro sputtered in shock. The ranking board that Zero summoned was massive. It was the size of a screen found in a baseball stadium. It's a special ranking screen that can only be summoned by yours truly. Everything's better on a big screen after all. Oh, right, that reminds me. Yo, have you given your victory award any thought? Like you don't already know. I want you to undo Sui's brainwashing so he goes back to normal. Oh ho, you're much more clear-headed now. I see. You've gained a real sense of humor there. Don't play dumb with me. It's all your fault Sui's acting like this. Aggravated by Zero's detached tone, Yo suddenly raised his voice. Well, I understand what you're getting at. If he's been brainwashed, then I'll do it. There seemed to be some sort of hidden undertone to Zero's words, but regardless, he committed to the terms. All that remained was defeating Sui at XP. Time to get rolling. I can't even remember the last time I played. I'm so pumped up right now. Santaro's enthusiasm was palpable as he cracked his knuckles. Mr. Mita? Well, all of you. Are you going to join us as well? You bet. We've been itching to play this whole time. Having the legendary Minato tribe alongside him in their fight would be nothing short of a tremendous help. Their combined power was most definitely enough to defeat Sui. However, nobody could have prepared for the words Sui uttered next. Alright, I made up my mind. Santaro and you 4 kids too, you're on my team. Huh? Says who? Hey now, maybe you should think it through before you go turning me down. That stolen beanbag? Who would have thought it'd come in handy at a time like this? Wait, you don't mean the color drained from the faces of Santaro and the 4 children. It's a memento of a legendary player, isn't it? I remember how happy you were when you showed it to me a while back. You... Santaro's tone darkened as he realized the stolen beanbag was being held hostage. Look, there's no need to get worked up. Once we win, I'll give it back. It belonged to an important teammate, after all, right? That's a low, Sui. Kazuki fired a glance, laden with contempt towards Sui. Kazuki, Santaro's voice trembled. It was clear how conflicted he was between his desire to help Trash Tribe and wanting to recover the beanbags. I can't stop you from what you need to do, Santaro, but there are things I need to do as well. Kazuki's words implied exactly one thing. Let's do this. Man, I can't believe this is how I end up playing XP with you again. Santaro sighed and scratched his head as he came to terms with the situation at hand. If we're going to play, then give it your all. I'll be sure to do the same. Kazuki offered Santaro a taunting smile. Santaro returned the very same expression to Kazuki. Haha, so you're gonna join my team after all. I'm stoked. A wicked grin formed on Sui's lips as he watched Santaro's response to the situation. There was no telling just what the outcome of the match would be now that Minato tribe teaming up with Sui. Incredible, absolutely incredible. This tangled mess of emotions is bringing so much chaos. It's going to be a match for the ages. With their matters settled, Minato City's final match had begun. It was a match to end the absurd dominance power struggle game. A match to undo the brainwashing that had turned Sui into number 9. The XP, a match featuring Yo and the others, would now begin. Geez, that was so long. Look at this. This episode is so long. Oh, yes, XP match. Okay. Everyone gather at Azubu Crossing, which was to be used as home plate. Yo and Sui faced off against one another silently, right in the middle of a 4-lane road. Yo was up at bat, with Sui taking position directly in front of him as pitcher. Though the match hadn't formally begun yet, fierce sparks flew in their exchanged glances. Or sorry, gazes, my bad. Alright, sorry for the wait. Here's that XP ball you've been waiting for. Sui easily caught the ball thrown in his direction and proceeded to press the I-shaped button. As he did so, a diamond made up of lights appeared in the crossing. With the signal from Space Envoy 3 shaping the city into an XP field, their preparations were complete. Beep! A buzzer went off, signaling the start of the match. Top of the first inning, the Trash Tribe was up to bat. Yo was up first. He kept a tight grip on his bat as he awaited Sui's first pitch. His eyes remained fixed on Sui, his glare intense as he prepared to hit any pitch that came his way. Sui, on the other hand, didn't seem too inclined to start the match with any haste, instead of laughing while toying with the XP ball in hand. You gonna keep clinging to a childish game like XP forever or what? Don't you think it's time to find a new hobby? Geez, you forgot how fun XP is too, huh? We just be wasting our time trying to explain it to you like this. Ski sighed sadly as she looked down on her childhood friend, lamenting how he changed for the worse. But if our match gets heated though, the sheer fun of it will snap him out of it. It's certainly possible. The Shinagawa tribe members managed to calm their senses by playing XP. When you think about it like that, you definitely have a point. Would you just zip it? I've already told ya that I'm not brainwashed. Irritated, Sui began to shout at them. Yeah, well, the Sui I know would never trash talk XP, and I know you pretty well. The me that's been living in your memories doesn't exist anymore. I've thrown away my past. The weak person I used to be, I threw it all away when I was brought back to life. I can understand wanting to overcome your weaknesses, but I don't think it's right to deny the past you have with your friends. Exactly! Spending time with your friends is what makes you stronger. Just cause you're spend time with your friends doesn't mean you're just gonna get any stronger. You really need to grow the hell up. Ski insisted that the strength came from having friends, whereas Sui argued that strength came from solitude. It seemed they had reached something of an impasse. Being so obsessed with power, aren't you the one who needs to grow up here? Huh? Would you just say yo? Sui shot Yo a glare. Getting addicted to power, thinking you're so strong all on your own, it's pretty immature if you ask me. You got some nerve saying I'm immature. The bloodlust was palpable in Sui's eyes as his glare remained fixed on Yo. Fine, if you're gonna provoke me, I'll bite. Let me teach you a lesson with my fists. Just then, as Sui turned toward Yo's position in the batter box. Hey, are you gonna get started or what? Enough with the pointless lover's quarrel. Get on with showing me the XP match. Lover's quarrel? I'm surprised Zero said that. Zero's words stopped Sui in his tracks. Fine, whatever. Guess we'll just have to settle this through XP after all. Sui responded to Zero as he reluctantly made his way back to the pitcher's mound. But you better be sure to keep your promise when I win. Naturally. Hey, what was the promise? I'm curious. Once their ambiguous exchange concluded, Sui looked over where Santaro and the four children had taken up their defensive position and grinned. Well, considering I got some of the legendary Minato members on my team, pulling off a win should be easy enough. Looking for what you can do, Santaro. Santaro awkwardly shifted his gaze away. Having to face off Yo against Yo and the others, even if it's just to get the beam bat, to get back the beam bat, seemed to really weigh on him. Once Sui had taken his position back on the pitcher's mound, the game could truly begin. Yo swung his bat a few times in the attempt to get focus. No matter how fast the pitch was, he was confident he could hit it. Steering himself with determination, he glared at Sui. I'll show you the power my reverb has brought me, and I'll make sure you don't forget it. With that proclamation, Sui tossed what appeared to be a boomerang above him. It had to have been some manner of XP gear. Then he jumped vertically and docked with it in midair. What the? Is he flying? With the XP gear attached to his back, Sui was suspended over the pitcher's mound. The gear seemed to have some sort of flying mechanism in it, similar to a drone. Take this! From midair, Sui threw the first pitch, which flew towards Sui in the speed of a laser beam. That the blazing fastball being thrown from high above meant it was going to enter the strike zone at a sharp angle. Yo was unsure how to properly swing it. Yo's bat swung through the air, not even grazing the ball. The second and third pitches fared much the same, easily striking him out. When the next two batters also struck out in the same manner, the Trash Tribe's first inning offense came to a close. Are you for real right now? After all that high and mighty yapping, that's all you weaklings got? Well, whatever. Taking home the win is such an outdated sport was gonna spark joy anyway. Well, it wasn't gonna spark joy anyway. Sui's loud laughter echoed around them as he toyed with the XP ball in his hand. Oh. Wait, mouse? Mousy? Can't move. Oh, am I frozen? Yeah! I'm frozen. No, don't conclude me like this. Frozen, guys. What? I did not do anything. Didn't download anything. Oh! Wasn't me. Hold on. There'll be a moment. Fucking start everything. I don't know what happened there. Find out. What the? What? Why did you like this? I didn't know it. Alright, I might have to. I'm gonna restart it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Why did it become like this? It wasn't me! No, the music's gone. I'm sorry. Didn't change the setting or nothing. Didn't do it. Just restarting. Can't believe it. Sweet was too powerful. We lost. Hold on. Don't like. Hold on. I don't like when it's. Why? That's too bright for my eyes. Hold on. I might have to pull up something first. Hold on. I'll be right back so I can get this back up again. Okay, I think they fixed it. It'll be just a little bit more. Hold on. Okay, fixed it. I had to do an updated driver, like the optional ones apparently. But no, we're good now. We're good. Okay. I'm gonna redo this scene. I'm like, where am I? Okay. Back to what I was doing. Are you for real right now? After all that high and mighty yapping, that's all you weaklings got? Well, whatever. Taking home the win in such an outdated sport wasn't gonna spark joy anyway. Sweetie's loud laughter echoed around them as he toyed with the XP ball in his hand. You're still calling it outdated? And anyway, both XP and this match are nowhere near over. We haven't gotten out of the first inning yet. Well, Ski's angry was matched by the serious expression he wore. Despite that, Ski chose to laugh off his words instead. Don't worry about it. The power of our balance will bring him back in a jiff. You'll see. I hope you're right about that. Concern laced Kazuki's tone as he spoke before he moved into his defensive position. XP versus Sweet Pro 2. As the bottom of the first inning began, the Sweet's team went up to bat. Sweet himself would be the first batter. Hey, quit stalling and pitch already. I can probably hit whatever you got with one hand anyway. Sweet taunted Ski, who was at the pitcher's mound, with a grin tugging at the corners of his mouth. Better act cocky while you still can, Sweet. I know everything about you, which includes what pitches you're not good at hitting. With a deep breath, Ski began to wind up her first pitch. She spread her arms wide and lifted one leg high in the air before she put all of her strength into throwing the ball towards Sweet's chest. But, clang! The sound reverberated in the air as Sweet made contact with the ball, sending it high into the sky over Minato City. Yo and the others playing the defense struggled to follow the trajectory of the ball. But Sweet always had a hard time with those pitches. Ha! Are you finally getting it? The me you knew doesn't exist anymore. Sweet carried himself like the king he was, making his way around the bases at a leisurely pace. It was as if he was trying to make a display to Yo's team of the difference in their ranks. Let's change things up, Ski. Fortunately, the bases weren't loaded. He only has a one-run lead at the moment. Yeah, no kidding. We're not going down and out yet. We just gotta make sure they can't just score from here on out. Ski clapped her palms against her cheek, getting herself fired up. She began to pitch to the next batter once they were up to the plate. However, they weren't dealing with pushovers. The Minato tribe were legendary for a reason. Santaro got a hit. Ichiro, Jiro, and Saburo followed up with the sacrificial bunts to Ski's pitches, allowing Santaro to score a run. The score was 0-2, with Sweet's team in the lead. Sorry, it's not like we want to play against you guys, but when it comes to XP, we can't take it easy. We have to get back the beanbags. It's something we can't afford to lose. With each passing inning, the point gap continued to widen. Yo's team couldn't hit the fastballs thrown by Sui from mid-air. Though Ski didn't crumble, she was being scored against it nearly every inning. By the end of the 5th inning, the score was 0-6. Hey, what's the matter? What's happened to beating me and getting me back to normal? Sui continued to taunt Yo's team from the pitcher's mound, a giant smirk plastered on his face. Well, it's not like you really stood a chance against my strength. Power is everything, you know. Better make sure you don't forget it. Don't get ahead of yourself. We haven't lost yet. We're gonna make a huge comeback in the 6th inning. Just you watch. Ha! Acting all tough's all you got, huh? It's not an act. Ugh. You know, you're just like Kazuma lately. That guy lost because he treated his subordinates like garbage. He was always bragging and calling himself perfect. And now you're doing the same thing. That's why we're not gonna lose. We're gonna beat you. Ha! There's no comparing me to some loser who got beaten by you. I heard about what you did, but it's not like anything he said was wrong. He was just messed up by losing. You gotta keep on winning to prove yourself right. If he won, then everything would be forgiven. His arrogance, the self-righteous ideologies, and even his use of violence. If I'm gonna make my dream a reality, then I have to keep winning. That's why I'll do it. I will win. Your dreams? Sui ignored Yo's question, instead raising his voice. I have no choice but to crush anyone who doesn't get it. It's time to get serious. Whoosh! The sudden sound of gusting wind filled the air, followed immediately by Sui's XP gear emitting the red aura. The aura then enveloped Sui's entire body, much like a chrysalis. And when Sui emerged from that red chrysalis... Oh gosh, what happened to you, dude? Haha, my power is overflowing. I'm gonna crush you once and for all with it. Sui's white outfit had morphed into a jet black one. His face had been covered by a sinister red skull mask. It was likely that the mask was also a type of XP gear. Compared to earlier, before he donned the mask, Sui's presence was overwhelmingly powerful. Still, Ski remained unfazed. She called out to him defiance. What, you think some mask just to make you a different person? Wearing that thing can't erase the past. It's because I threw away my past that I'm stronger now. No one can deny it. And if this face of mine is a reminder of the past, then I'll just throw it away too. Overwhelmed by Sui's imposing aura, Yo and the others on the team recoiled. His power had already been oppressive, but this shift only intensified that. A sense of hopelessness and despair gripped at their hearts as they stared at the masked Sui. How were they going to take down such a beast? But just then, at that moment, no, this is our 1 in a million opportunity. The seeds of our victory are starting to sprout now that Sui's taken on this form. None of them could have expected the words that came from Kazuki's mouth. The seeds of our victory are going to sprout? What do you mean by that? We were already no match for him even at our best. Off the pitch. And choke up the bat too. It doesn't need to be a direct hit either. Just focus on grazing the ball. Each passing inning had the team more and more fired up, despite being down by 9 runs. After all, they weren't aiming to score. Their goal was to burn through Sui's energy by making him throw as many pitches as possible. Alright guys, when you're up to bat, keep your focus on hitting foul balls. So Sui has to keep pitching. That was the idea Kazuki had proposed to ensure Sui's defeat. With that mask on, the speed of those fastballs is going to get more intense. But he'll probably just pitch them straight on. If you choke up the bat and bunt instead, you should be able to hit a foul ball. That's what they call fighting off the pitch. Burning through the ace's pitcher's stamina is definitely a valid XP strategy. However, do you truly believe that Mr. Yakumo will tire himself that way? If Sui really had an inexhaustible energy supply, he would have worn that mask from the start of the match. Given how he seemed to believe that power equates to justice, he wouldn't have hesitated to use a power-up item. So I'm on the firm belief that the mask must have some sort of major drawback. And you think that drawback is that consumes a great deal of energy? Yes, that's right. There wouldn't be any reason to refrain from using it otherwise. It's plausible to think that Sui is using it as an 11th hour trump card. But he made a grave mistake. Yo and Ski's words chipped away at his composure, leading him to use the mask sooner than he needed to. We have to take advantage of the situation at hand. Using his secret weapon so hastily is going to backfire on him and be his undoing. As Kazuki spoke, a grin spread across his lips. They say a crafty schemer will drown in his own schemes, but in this case, he's going. He continued to pitch his fastballs straight down the center. Doing so caused his technique to waver with each passing throw, and then suddenly, clang! The moment they eagerly awaited came to pass as Ski made a direct contact with the ball. The satisfying sound of the bat hitting its target rang out as the ball flew deep into the outfield. Take that! Ski sprinted at full speed, releasing her pent-up frustrations until she stopped at third base. Alright, let's get this comeback started. Gotta capitalize on Ski's momentum. You can't waste this opportunity. Though it was just a single hit, the entire team was now brimming with hope. Ski's hit was just the start. One after another, Yo's teams kept scoring runs. Clang, 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 clang. As they switched gears and moved away from the intentional fouls, the Trash Tribe began to rack up hits on their pitches while giving Sui no time to retaliate. The point gap quickly closed, leaving the board score of 8-9. They had managed to bring it to 1 run difference. You low-rank losers, getting way too cocky. I mean, you were cocky earlier, my dude. Okay. Exhaustion gripped on Sui as he stood atop the pitcher's mound. Through his mask, he glared intensely at Yo's team, his breath heavy and labored. Seeing the state Sui was in, Santaro and the 4 children ran over to him. Sui, you hit your limit. Time to get off the mound. What? You're telling me to back off? Yep, we gotta switch out pitchers. You rest up and I'll take it from here. And I just want to make it clear, I don't plan on being all innocent. You climb the rankings using the governing rules too. If someone goes up, then someone else gotta go down. You understand that much, don't ya? But those are the rules that we're forced to play by though. We had no other choice if we were gonna come to the city and save you. Ski averted her gaze anxiously, overcome with distress. Now you're just making excuses. You're just gonna say that killing someone's okay as long as it saves someone else? Murder is murder. You're all villains, just like me. No, that's where you're wrong. When this is all over, we'll face the crimes we've committed head on and do what we must to atone for them. We've come prepared to confront our past, not run away from them. You've run away from yours, so you don't have the conviction to face it. Yo kept his eyes fixed on Sui. Some truth to what you're saying, but it was not something we desired to do. It was a necessity carried out in order to save Shinagawa City. The members of the Trash Tribe looked down at the ground, trembling a bit. They couldn't help but recall Kazuma's execution. It was a horrific sight, one that could not easily compartmentalize and forgotten. Your arguments are falling apart at the seams. What? Finally realizing you're all just filthy murderers? The weight of their guilt was beginning to overwhelm them, leaving them on the verge of tears. But... Are you okay, Yo? What Yo said didn't seem to resonate with his teammates, which in turn left him bewildered. Why couldn't they understand such simple logic? He found that rather mysterious. Straight through to the curb. I don't give a damn of how many of them die. No way. You still need to make that distinction between who deserves to die and who doesn't. Yo's frustration was beginning to mount. In this world, there were those who deserved to die and those who needed protection. It wasn't a crime to kill those who deserved to die, but those who needed protection deserved the full might of their ability to do so. The concept was very simple, really. What are you trying to say? So you take all that pride in saving a bunch of people you don't know, but you were fine with watching me and Ski die in 24th City, even though we were your friends and we came to save you? Cut the crap with all these straw man arguments. Did I ever ask you two to come and save me? Yo made that choice all on his own. You're so weak, but yet you thought you could save me. His response came just as cold as the last one had been. Being weak was a crime after all. The idea of blaming others for one's own weakness didn't sit well with him. Just stop it. Just stop it already. All of this is so wrong. Why are you two even fighting? Why did they come to this? Huh. You're wondering why it ended up like this, Ski? Fine, I'll tell you then. All this happened because you and I went to save Yo. We were the weak ones, because we couldn't leave this guy behind, the one who forgotten everything. If we hadn't done that, we would have never died. And none of this would have happened to Minato City either. You hear me? Sweet continues sprouting a bunch of nonsensical things that Yo could only consider to be worthless blame shifting. That's not true at all. Saying that everything went wrong because we saved Yo is just, she's correct. There's no denying that Shinagawa was safe due to Mr. Kuronaka's actions. There's a lot I like to say, but I agree in that Ski's assessment isn't wrong. Oh ho! So now you're all covering for each other? Well, it doesn't matter what any of you say. Saving Yo's is still what caused all of this. No, we did the right thing, and I'm gonna make you understand that too. Yo nimbly stretched as he stepped into the batter's box. He gripped his bat and fixed his gaze on Sweet. Bring it on, Sweet. Let's settle this with XB. Haha. So you're up to bat next, huh? Fine with me. I'll take you up on the challenge. If you can hit my pitch, your team wins. Sweet readily accepted Yo's challenge. You're gonna regret saying that. Wait, hold on. We need to talk this out. We should just leave the rest to them, Ski. This isn't our place to get involved. But there's no getting through to either of them right now. You're just gonna have to settle this through the match. It's up to you now, Yo. Kazuki called out to him, but Yo offered no response. His gaze was firmly fixed on Sweet. The rest of the team left the field, ensuring Ski came along. At that point, only Yo and Sweet remained inside the diamond. The two exchanged the silent stares. The silence hung heavy in the air as their final showdown began. Sweet didn't fly into the air this time. He kept his feet planted on the ground as he extended his arms. He then raised his leg high in the air, and his technique was nothing short of splendid. Whoosh! The ball roared towards Yo's chest. Sweet's pitching stamina had recovered, so much that he threw his fastest pitch of the entire day. It was almost as if it was a cannonball hurling through in the air at the speed of sound. But for Yo, it seemed as if the ball was moving in slow motion. Nothing about it was threatening. Yo was completely in the zone. He was in complete control of the situation and could hit the ball as he desired with ease. He swung the ball, connecting the square with his bat. Bling! The sound reverberated in the air. Another sound soon followed. Crash. The sound of shattering plate echoed through the crossing. Yo hit struck Sweet straight on, shattering the mask that had been covering his face. It's always Yo hitting people's mask. The momentum from the ball didn't slow. Continuing to soar right out of the field of play in a remarkable home run. That seals our win. Even though the score was now evened out to 9-9, Yo and Sweet changed the terms of the match, which meant the final pitch had settled the entire game. Their XP match had come to a close. The Trash Tribe had emerged victorious. Fallen comments. No, isn't that Sweet's name? I lost? Did I really lose? Sweet fell into his knees right in place as he stood. His devastated gaze focused at the ground in front of him. As he did so, the points above his head sharply dropped, and the points above Yo's head suddenly began to rise. A large increase in dominance power had been detected. You have reached the top rank. A change of throne has transpired. Your rank has been upgraded to king. Congratulations. After the system voice rang out, a crown appeared over Yo's head. They've been able to dethrone Sweet. They accomplished their mission. However, even with the announcement of their victory, Yo didn't feel a swell of happiness in his chest. His consciousness felt almost hazy, leaving him unable to fully recall the battle he waged with Sweet. You could sense, though, that he'd said some horrible things in the heat of the moment. Yo, Ski, The words tumbled from Sweet's mouth as he staggered to his feet, his expression vacant as he looked over to Yo and Ski. It looked somewhat more peaceful, as if all his hostility he displayed earlier was a little more than a dream. Sweet, are you back to normal? Our feelings must have gotten through to you? Tears of joy streamed down Ski's cheek as she ran towards Sweet. Sweet struggled to stay on his feet, but Ski extended her arm to help him was met with a slap. Sweet slapped her arm away. Sweet? Ski's eyes widened with surprise at the hand Sweet had shaken off. I haven't changed. I've always wanted to beat Yo. I came back to life, became one of the numbers. I thought I'd finally be able to pull it off. Damn it. Sweet let out a scream as he banged both his hands against the ground. Damn it, damn it. Why couldn't I win? Every time Sweet struck the ground, the area around him shook. It was as if the world itself was trembling and weeping. Hang in there, Sweet. We'll get you back to normal. Oh, just hold on tight. Daryl, break him free of his brainwashing. You promised what you would, didn't you? Brainwashing? Right. I suppose I did something like that. No, you didn't. There was an undeniably stark contrast between Ski's desperation and Zero's indifference. Just get him back to normal already. It's okay, Sweet. Well, you're the one who needs to go back to normal. Huh? Just stop it, all of you. Stop looking at me like you pity me or something. It's always like this. I'm sick of it. Damn it. Why can't I win? Am I just always gonna lose to you? Sweet looked completely baffled. The state of confusion only seemed to worsen every time Yo or Ski would extend their hands to help him up. Sweet, calm down. Just tell us what's wrong. Just as Yo said that, a large decrease in dominance had been detected. Your rank has been downgraded to beggar. Please increase dominance at once if you wish to avoid further consequences. What the? The system voice announced Swee's drop to beggar rank. They made aware that a higher rank's loss to someone of a lower rank would result in a massive point drop. But they hadn't expected that one defeat could drop him all the way down to beggar. Huh? Wait, hold on a second. Please stop, I'm begging you. Ski looked up and shouted in the direction of the space envoy freak. She pleaded for Swee's life to be spared. It's too dangerous for both of you to stay so close to him. Your time is up. We hope you will be someone of high society in your next life. Goodbye. The system voice was merciless in its announcement of Sweet's departure. The laser reticle then locked onto Sweet's body. Hurry, we have to save him. There has to be a way. Ugh, you're so annoying. Just get the hell away from me already. We murmured. Bam. And then push Yo and Ski away from him with both hands. The moment after he did that, gah! The laser beam from Space Envoy Freak fired, piercing through Sui like a sword. Oh, this choice, man. This choice. Sui! Sui! Ski's heart-wrenching cry echoed throughout Azabu Crossing. Oh, that must be traumatizing being hit by the laser twice. Anguish of beasts. Actually, let me drink water first. Hold on. Okay, let's go. He was still breathing, despite the fact that his body had been pierced through with a laser beam. His breaths were incredibly labored as he made a desperate effort to stand. Wait, he's still alive? We may still have a chance to treat him then. Koichi sprinted towards Sui and began to administer first aid. It was apparent, though, that Sui's condition was dire. His entire body was covered in burns. Even a skilled medic like Koichi wasn't likely to save him in this state. Hey Zero, heal Sui! I want to switch my reward to that! Yo made the snap decision to plead with Zero to change his reward. Since Sui's brainwashing hadn't been yet undone, he was still within his right to request a new wish. Not cool, Yo. You shouldn't be so wishy-washy when it comes to making promises. But I guess we could call it even, since it would have been impossible for me to undo a brainwashing that never happened to begin with. Huh? I mean, it's been said so many times. Like, come on, guys. What are you talking about? We hadn't been brainwashed? A dumbfounded look appeared on Yo's face. It was apparent that he couldn't process what Zero had told them. But Sui's been acting weird because you brainwashed him, right? Honestly, even I find it kind of prophetic of how self-centered your train of thought is. It's not really my problem. Sui is actually much different than the idealized version of him you propped up in your head, in your mind. From the way Zero replied, it was obvious he was sneering a bit from behind the mask. But that's just not the Sui I knew. I know. Sui was, you speak as if you know everything about him. Listen to me. You didn't know his true feelings. The feelings he had been hiding so desperately all this time. Isn't that really all there is to it? As far as I'm concerned, it's rather arrogant of you to insist that the version you remember is the real one, and the person standing before you somehow isn't. There's no way that is true. We always talk about everything. Ski was desperately trying to deny Zero's assertions. She didn't want to believe that Sui they met in Minato City was the real deal. Yo understood all too well just what Ski was feeling. Seriously, just give up already, both of his sake and for your own. Though I'll just say this, there are things you haven't told Yo either, correct? That's not true, I swear, Yo. Panic overtook Ski as she vehemently denied Zero's statement. It was obvious that she was trying to gloss over something. Just as Yo began to wonder what it was that Ski was hiding, I just... Yo, Ski, Sui's awake! Thanks to Koishi's efforts, Sui had regained consciousness. Yo and Ski were quick to run to his side. Sui, are you okay? This time I'm gonna beat you. I'll go head to head with you, over and over, till I'm dead. Sui still hadn't regained his sanity. The moment he saw Yo, he attacked. What? Yo, watch out! Go the hell out of my way. Get the hell out of my way. Move it. Ugh. Ski had leaped in front of Yo to defend him. Sui responded mercilessly by punching her. Ugh. She crumbled to the ground, letting out a pained sound of her half-conscious state. That's what you get for butting in. Keep your mouth shut if you know what's good for you. Sui spat his words out at the injured Ski. Seeing Sui act in such a cold manner caused a lava-like rage to well up in Yo's chest once more. So then, is this who you really are? If so, then shut up! I'm gonna kill you all. Let's do this. Yo! We saw this capital lowercase stuff here. Sui began to screech like an unhinged beast. It was no longer possible to reason with him. There was nothing else he could do. Yo clenched his fist tightly as he steeled himself for what was to come. If that's what you want, then fine. Yo and Sui's third battle had begun. Though really, it was difficult to even properly call it a battle. Sui had already been severely injured by the lasers that each swing of his bat caused him to cough up blood. Yo and the rest of Trash Tribe called on Sui repeatedly in an effort to get him to stop. Sui had no intention of doing so, however, and he continued to swing his bat. He had made Yo his sole target. Yo retaliated by landing multiple punches on Sui. It wasn't as if he wanted to do so, but it was the only option he had in front of him if he wanted to stop the raging Sui. Each time his fist made contact with Sui's body, Yo felt as if his own was being stabbed. Why did things have to come to this? As Yo continued to assault on Sui, he cursed his luck with each and every punch. Then, after some time, Sui fell into his knees. He coughed up blood before his body fell to the ground. Are you done yet, Sui? Are you good? The young and the damn blah. Okay, start. If I don't beat you, then you won't remember. Sui wouldn't relent. Despite how breathless he was, Sui pressed his palms against the ground in an attempt to lift his body up. Give it up already, Sui. Yo called out a pleading response. It was patently obvious that Sui could no longer fight. Yo didn't have any interest in causing any further harm. Just hang tight. Koishi will get you fixed up. He looked towards Koishi as she tried to call to Sui's attention. The injuries in his internal organs are fatal. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can... Come on, you can heal any wounds, right? I'm begging you. I'm sorry. Koishi shook his head feebly as he averted his gaze. For someone as skilled as Koishi to throw in the towel could only mean that there were truly out of options. Please, Zero, I'll do anything. Please, just save Sui. You can help him, can't you? While there's some things I'm capable of, I'm not a god. Some things are out of my hands. Sorry to say, but there's no way for me to properly treat him. It's like, similar to having an insufficient bank balance, you know? That can't be true. There's gotta be something you can do. The way Yo cried out was almost as if he were throwing a tantrum. Childishly, he clung onto the notion of Zero's supernatural technology as means of saving Sweet. As I said, there's nothing I can do. The circumstances are too different from the last time. I'm begging you. I trust the three of us still. You morons. Ugh. Yo was shouting, Ski was stricken with grief, and Sui was groaning as he coughed up blood. It was a scene, it was like a scene straight from hell. The game is over, and quite honestly, I've already lost interest. It's time you finish him off, Yo, with your own two hands. Zero was implicit in telling Yo to deliver the final blow and put Sui out of his misery. I can't do that. There has to be another way. I won't give up. Yeah, you're right. Wait, yeah, you're right, Yo. We have to find another way to save him. The two of them rejected The two of them rejected Zero's assertions. There was just no way they could agree to it. They couldn't allow Sui's life to end this way. I told you already, it's impossible. For the three of you, this story ends here. Indifference aligned Zero's tone as he looked over to Sui. Ugh, he writhed in pain as he spoke. Just hang in there, Sui. You're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Yo, it was you who started it. Who said those things? Huh? You're the one who dragged us into this. It's because of you that... Stop looking at me like that. Like you got no idea what's going on. Sui spat his hateful words towards Yo as he continued to cough up blood. What Yo couldn't understand was why Sui had come to hate him so much. Had he really been the one to get them involved? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't understand any of this. You're so damn annoying. I never should have been friends with... Sui's murmured, barely audible, and then... What? Sui's body crumbled away like sand in the wind. He disappeared completely, leaving behind only his clothing. Wait? What just happened? I don't... His body disappeared? Why? Why would this happen? Is this truly reality? Well, it's certainly not a game. All the members of the Trash Tribe were left dumbfounded. Their gaze fixed on the clothing Sui had left behind. Not a single one of them could understand what had happened to his body. There was only one thing they knew for sure. Sui was no longer in this world. Well, nice work, Yo. You've done a fine job securing victory in Minato City's XG. With all that had happened, Zero was the only one whose composure hadn't slipped. His mask shook as he clapped his hands and declared Yo's victory. What did you do to Sui, Zero? He went crazy like he was brainwashed, and then his body just turned to dust. What the hell did you do? Tell us. There's nothing for me to say. He became consumed by his own power, and when he couldn't withstand it any longer, he just vanished. Sui's dead? Yo could feel the rage surge through him, and it took all of his willpower not to lunge at Zero. This enigma of a man had taken Sui's life. There was no way he could forgive that. Temper. It's not as if anyone you have to give up hope, you know. Keep taking down the numbers, and you may just earn yourself an extra reward. That's all you get. You might get an extra reward, you know? An ultra reward? Are you saying we could bring Sui back to life with that? Who knows? In any case, is that what Sui even wants? I'm not sure if it's possible, but if it is, I suppose that Zero would be capable of it. For the time being, we'll just have to hedge our bets on that being the ticket to reuniting with Sui. Zero was already known to possess some manner of supernatural ability. The notion that he could even offer something such as an ultra reward suggested his powers were truly incredible. It seemed he may even have the power to resurrect people after After all, the reality that Ski and Sui both appeared before Yo after they should have already been dead. That made it undeniable that it was something within Zero's scope. If it means we have a chance of bringing Sui back to life, then fine, I'll do it. I'll take down all the numbers and win XG. Then I can have you resurrect him using the Ultra reward. It wasn't as if he wanted to fall prey to Zero's machinations any more than he already had. But if it meant he had the chance to see Sui again, Yo was willing to make that sacrifice. He vowed silently to himself that he would bring Sui back to life using the Ultra reward. Haha, you're all fired up now, huh? That's the spirit, Yo. As a reward for your enthusiasm, I'll strike your original reward request to undo Swain's brainwashing from the record. So, what else would you like instead? At this point, there's nothing I need. Anything else? Anyone else want something? Yo looked over to his team, and after a moment, Santaro stepped forward. How about getting rid of the governing rules and bring back XP? Just like in Shinagawa City, you know, for when Minato tribe members come back. Got it. You can do that. No arguments for me. You put on a great show this time, so I'll allow it. Will that be alright? I'm wondering what the influencers will think if the rules change. Who cares about what they think? Yo had no interest in those people. The only thing he had in his mind was Sui, who is now dead. Well, I've seen everything I need to, so I'm out to catch you later. Zero spoke, the smile still hidden behind his mask. After a moment, he floated up off the ground and vanished into the sky above Minato City, leaving only the worst possible outcome behind. Last episode. The three of us, that day. Following the match's outcome, Yo and the others returned to Minato Tower and visited Sui's room. They retrieved the bean bat that had been mounted on the wall, then returned it to Santaro's secret base. I'm sure he really wanted this bean bat, since Sui really loved the Minato tribe. Ski had begun crying for a while on the sofa, the bean bat in hand. He couldn't get her mind off Sui's death. We're getting to the point where we can't really afford to be picky. There's a good chance we'll need to strengthen our forces going forward. Tatsuki gave Ski a sidelong glance, expression stern. They just witnessed the death of one of their teammates. Tatsuki sensed that it was a turning point in which future battles would only grow more dangerous. That's so. How about letting me join the team then? You're gonna go around to the other cities, aren't ya? Might be a good idea for me to tag along and keep an eye out for the other missing members of the Minato tribe. That's fine with me, but didn't Saori entrust you with overlooking Minato City? I'll leave it to the 4 children. With the governing rules gone, they should be fine. Yes, I think we should be able to handle things. The addition of Santaro to their team was reassurance to Yo. After all, he was a member of the admired legendary Minato tribe. Mr. Ayoma, would you allow Oi and myself join officially as well? Are you sure? This is no longer just a battle that involves Shinagawa City. Oi has also agreed on this matter. Yutaka and Minami had offered to officially join the team. That meant the Trash Tribe had 3 new members. It was nothing short of a promising start towards strengthening their forces. In that case, welcome aboard. Now, regarding our next move, before we continue, there's one thing I like to do actually. Mr. Kuronaka, do you still have the XP ball that was used in the match earlier? I do, yeah, but Yo had tracked down the XP ball and took it with him after the match with Sui came to a close. He kept it as a memento, so he wouldn't forget their last game. There's something that caught my attention. Do you mind if I hold on to it? Yeah, sure. Take a look if you wanna. Yo didn't hesitate to hand the ball over. He was sure that Yutaka would be able to make good use of it. You have my thanks. Oh, right. I've got something for Yo and Ski. Here, take this. It flew my way when Sui died. Santaro spoke up as if his memory had suddenly been sparked. After a moment, he took out a smartphone from his pocket. It was in rough shape. The screen had a spiral of cracks across it. Wait, is this Sui's phone? I shouldn't snoop, but oh, I turned it on the screen. When her hand made contact with the phone, the screen lit up. The image displayed on the lock was, whoa, this picture's ancient. The picture had been Sui. The picture Sui had been using as his lock screen was one of him, Ski, and Yo. They were all still kids at the time. It had to have been taken when they were still in elementary school. Sui stood in the middle, his bat slung over his shoulder. On the left side, Ski held an XP ball, and Yo had been to the right, looking towards the camera. Yo's expression had been serious, in contrast the way Sui and Ski both smiled. Their expressions made a good display of how much the three of them how much fun the three of them had playing XP together. Though Yo had no recollection of taking that picture, looking at it caused his chest to tighten. He was sure that his heart remembered the joy of those days, even if his mind couldn't. Sui, even though things turned out the way that they did, he still cared about us, didn't you? He had to be right. If Sui had felt otherwise, if it weren't true, he wouldn't have used that image as his lock screen wallpaper. That was what made it so strange though, right as he was dying. Just before he died, he said that it was my fault things turned out this way. What did he mean by that? Do you know, Ski? I don't know. I seriously don't. Her voice is very audible as she cast her gaze away from Yo. I see. Sorry. Sui was dead. He had completely vanished from this world. There wasn't even a corpse left behind. All that remained was deep regret, lined with a single ray of hope. If they could defeat the numbers and earn the extra reward, there was a chance they could resurrect Sui. Still, it was possible that it was a preserved life from Zero and intended to give them false hopes. Despite that, the only thing Yo could do was press forward. To restore Sui's life, to reclaim the joyful times the three of them had spent together, just as they had been immortalized on Sui's lock screen. Chapter 2 end. Oh, done. I am not looking forward to chapter 3 because I hate this chapter so much. It's too much hurt in the feels. I'm not excited to when this is translated, so it's for next time. Okay. Anyways, that is it for chapter 2. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry for the little hiccup earlier, but I'm glad I got it fixed. So I'm like, I don't want to do it another day to stream this. I'd rather just get it all done. Alright, lost my voice. I'm just gonna relax now. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back next time. Okay.